This is the second comeback fight for James Hard Rock Green, another one of my favorite fighters from the early 1980s. I remember watching his match against John the Beast Mugabe and discussing it afterward with one of my uncles after Green came really close to pulling off the upset. I remember my uncle saying, "I was so mad at that guy. He could have been somebody, could have knocked out Mugabe." That was the kind of fighter Green was. You couldn't help but root for him. Standing at just 5'4", he was often the underdog due to his height, but he was built like a brick house and rarely took a backward step. Born in North Carolina, he moved to Irvington, New Jersey. As a boy, he turned pro under the guidance of manager Lou Duva and was trained by Bill Ryan. I think Green hit his peak around 1983. He was nearing a title shot against then junior middleweight champion Davey Moore. Green even had a couple of fights scheduled against Thomas Hearns, but they were both canceled because of injuries. By 1986, Green suffered a few defeats and was out of title contention. Unfortunately, 2 drug-related prison sentences kept him out of the ring for 8 long years. Late in 1994, Green made his return, fighting an exhibition bout before knocking out Victor Davis. And now for this video, we see him in January of 1995, and he's set to face Bryant B.B. Brannon, an up-and-coming prospect with a 12-0 record. Brannon, fighting out of Trenton, New Jersey, the home of lightweight legend Ike Williams, is also a smallish super middleweight at 5'7", and this time he has the rare chance to punch down at an opponent in Hard Rock Green.
It's like, street life is no place for a child to be, a kid to be, because there's nothing there. It's 2 things on them streets that can happen to you, and that is you either go to the penitentiary or end up in the grave. So therefore, it's no place for a child to be. Stay in school, get your education, listen to your mother, your father, all that's positive to you, you know what I'm saying? Listen, take heed to it, and try and make the best of it.
Some big names, and he has been in many wars, but well rested now as he comes back 8.5 years later against Green-Bryant Brannon, who has KO'd his last 5 opponents and looking to put a big name on his legend.
Oh yeah, what a tough competitor, James Hard Rock Green. However, Green-Bryant Brannon says that is only going to help him. Green-Bryant Brannon said, "This is one of the few times in my boxing career that I've been in the ring with somebody shorter than I am." He is not real tall at 5'7" for a super middleweight. He's excited because tonight he says, "I'll try to be more of a boxer against a slugger."
Brannon has been a one-dimensional fighter, just a straightforward fighter, as his record indicates, and he's trying to work on rounding out the game. He takes the shot, but as you heard him, he loves to get hit. Likes to get hit to get his shots off.
Yeah, doesn't mind taking 2 to get one of his own in.
Oh, and he rocks Hard Rock, and Green shakes his head. No, this is almost the fight for the Blue Horizon.
Oh yeah, this is the place for a fight like this. These fans will love this.
Hard Rock Green in his last fight against Victor Davis, a reminder, he was down in that fight. He takes some shots. And he has the same philosophy as Brannon. He'll take a few to get his in.
That's why it's made for the Blue Horizon. They like it when fighters go to war.
Green, always an in-your-face type of a fighter. Crouches even lower than the 5'4½", and tries to get inside, works his way in behind that jab, but when you work yourself inside like that, you're also going to take a lot of punches trying to get in. This is scheduled for 10.
He seems to be extremely focused on his career now.
Yep.
He said about the only thing that you can do while you're in prison is to sit there and think about what you want to do when you get out. And he is doing it now. This for him is a dream come true. James Hard Rock Green. His style, he says, I keep on coming and I stay on top of my opponent. He says, I don't let him breathe.
Final seconds of the first round. Not a bad seat in the house. The balcony just looking over down into the ring. James Hard Rock Green in the black trunks and Green-Bryant Brannon in the red, and he is dancing. This is a different Green-Bryant Brannon that has stepped in the first 12 fights, won them all, 8 by knockout. He said the last fight, he tried to become more of a boxer-puncher against Terry Say. In that fight, Say happened to just walk into a jab 40 seconds into the fight, and it was over. So really didn't get a good chance to work on the new Brannon style of boxer-puncher. Well, he is playing here with Green with his hands down dangerously.
Well, you know, early in his career, the fighters who beat James Hard Rock Green were the fighters like him, the fighters that beat him at his own game, the tough, strong, that bullied inside and warred with him. Later in his career, and I know he's been off for 8.5 years, he was getting beat by fighters that are more master boxers, the Donald Currys, Michael Olajuwons. Some great fighters, but a different style that beat him earlier, which is just what Brannon wants him to do.
And Brannon clocks Green inside and then gets out.
Scores and then moves. Very pretty work from Brian. Brian said he is a universal fighter. He says, I have the ability to box when I must. Whoa!
And James Green flashes the hard rocks and then goes flying. Brannon tries to take advantage, but doesn't go over well with the Blue Horizon crowd. We like to see good fights fought fairly.
Well, this is a very knowledgeable crowd here. And they know you're not supposed to hit a man when you're down on the canvas. There is some water over in that corner of Green-Bryant Brannon. And that's what Hard Rock slipped on. That's what the rock slipped on. Like a rock skipping over water. I'm having fun. I don't know if anybody else is. I am.
Well, we're inside 10 seconds, and we will pause for a word from your local cable systems. Back with the champ.
This is Green-Bryant Brannon. At the end of the round, whenever you get hit, you lose your sense of direction. Brannon went to the wrong corner. He went over to Hard Rock Green's corner. When you get knocked out on your feet, you forget which direction you are. You forget which is north and south, and you occasionally go to the wrong corner.
You're just trying to figure out which direction is up. The winner of this fight wants to get a crack at the winner of our main event, Tony Thornton and Darren Jenner, who will be fighting for the USBA super middleweight title. So Hard Rock Green could be in a position with 2 fights under the belt in the second career of getting a shot at the USBA title and put himself in position to be looked at, you know, in the rankings.
Right back in there. Oh, good right hand from Brannon. Now, here is why Brannon got hit with that left hook. When Brannon punches, he throws his head up. Good combination from Brian. Ducking underneath a lot of these punches. When you miss a punch to the head, you're automatically supposed to go to the body. And if your opponent's ducking, he'll duck into the shot. So maybe what Brannon should do is, if he's missing those punches to the head, go to the uppercut.
Landing shot, no effect, says James Green.
No effect, but they're landing. Still early in the fight. Brannon better get that left hand up.
Yeah.
There's a good look at it. Watch when he punches. Green-Bryant Brannon raises his head. Left.
James Hard Rock Green in the black trunks. There's the left. And Green stays on him. Brannon now fighting back, takes a big right hand, and he's holding on, but Green won't let him. Green on the attack.
And this is where that strength of Green comes in handy.
Brannon socks him back with the left hand, and Green, vintage James Hard Rock Green, and stumbling is Green-Bryant Brannon here in the third. 20 seconds to go. You cannot be saved by the bell unless it's the final round. Holding on is Brannon. He looks to be in some trouble, but he comes back with a left hand that rocks Green to the left side. Terrific finish to the third round. The Blue Horizon explodes. That's what it's all about, say the fans here in Philadelphia.
That's exciting. You can hear that crowd. You feed off that crowd unless you have a ringing in your ears. Green-Bryant Brannon was hurt in that round. Here is why. Look at this big hooks. James Hard Rock Green still possesses the power. The right hand, the left hook, crack. There's the right hand. Look at the arm. Look how loose, mouth open, of Green-Bryant Brannon.
You're the boss out there, Rock. You're the boss out there, Rock. Rock, you're the boss. Go ahead.
James
Tommy
Green
Parks.
collecting his thoughts. Comes out for round number 4.
While Brannon is collecting his teeth.
Yeah.
Good overhand right.
Well, it's taken him 3 rounds to get it going.
Yeah.
And now Brannon sticking in the jab.
Yeah, remember how effective that jab was in the first round? He lost it in the last round, and he slugged more. He must get back to that jab or he's going to be out of this fight, Green-Bryant Brannon.
And James Hard Rock Green coming back, not taking on any slouches.
I'm sorry, Al. Cut opened up over the left eye of Brannon.
Brannon undefeated in 12 fights, 8 of them knockouts, and 5 in a row. And Brannon now coming back to life. He's peering in, seeing what he can do against Green.
And look now how Brannon reverts back to his old style.
Oh, the big uppercut by Brannon. He comes back here in round number 4, a big first minute. In the uppercut, and he follows.
Yeah.
They're moving closer and closer to one another, looking for their shots. The left eye of Brannon looks to be closing.
Excellent uppercuts from Brannon. They're working, and what he's trying to do is kill that left hook of Green. Oh, big combination. Oh. And I would say for the comeback in this round, he has been like dynamite. Oh.
And Green now flat-footed in front of Brannon and taking those shots. Brannon appeared to be in trouble in the 3rd. He has come back with a big 4th round.
Good left jab from Brannon. When he goes with that left jab, when he gets that working, everything else works. He's using the uppercut now. That's working because he's sticking that left jab out.
In that 4th round. So Green, the big 3rd round as he shook up Brannon, and Brannon comes back in the 4th. This is scheduled for 10. And the scenario changes each round. James Hard Rock Green in the black trunks, 21-7-1 with 14 knockouts. And undefeated Green-Bryant Brannon in the red, 12-0 with 8 KOs, including his last 5. And right now, the champ is in the corner of James Hard Rock Green. What's going on there with Tommy Parks, champ?
Well, Al, they're working on a cut over here on the face of Hard Rock. Where is he cut? How bad is it?
Well, it's not bad, but it's like a cut on the face and the lip.
He took a lot of punches in that 4th round. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's all right. As long as if he leads, he's going to be better off.
Yeah, he seems to be doing better when he gets aggressive. He gets in there a little bit. What are you going to try to change now?
Just make him move in, and punch more.
Is he giving too much room to this man?
Yeah, because see, the guy's trying to stay out and pop shot him. But as long as he's moving in, the guy's going to run.
He was landing a lot of left hooks in that 2nd round. Could we see more of those?
Well, of course. Yeah, we're going to see more of everything as time goes on.
He's getting hit with a lot of stuff. Is that hurting?
Yeah, that stuff he's missing. He's missing some of that stuff over top.
Okay. Well, keep him working over there. Take care of those cuts, Tommy. Good luck. Let's go back over to Al. They got a lot of work over here, Al. Good turn of events in this fight. You know, had he stayed in there like Green-Bryant Brannon did in that 2nd and 3rd round, it would have been Hard Rock Green all the way. But he's making a good fight out of it.
Nice adjustment by Brannon.
Yeah, now we got to see if Hard Rock can adjust. Hard Rock is taking a lot of shots.
Hard Rock has always taken a lot of shots.
Yeah.
The adjustment is now at 36. Green-Bryant Brannon peering into the face of James Hard Rock Green. His scheduled 10-round fight.
Oh yeah, and now he has the respect Green-Bryant Brannon has last couple of rounds, keeping Hard Rock out at bay.
Green-Bryant Brannon looking a little like combination Eckert and Marcus.
Yep.
And some glances facially a little of Evander Holyfield. Pretty nice combination.
Yeah, two outstanding fighters.
And James Green is James Hard Rock Green. There is nothing else like it. He always can rise to the world-class level. He's never had to do it.
Well, he does it in the gym.
No.
But I can tell you from experience, it's a different type of fighting. In this crowd, you are fighting the elements. In the gym, you're not. The elements are the arena, the crowd, a new ring. And you know it's for real. Everything's on the line. And you have a tough, Hard Rock opponent in front of you in Green. Also, there's no headgear in a boxing match, and you're wearing smaller gloves. In the gym, they'll use 14, 16-ounce gloves. In the fight, these are 10s.
Brannon now playing with Green. Green doesn't appreciate it, nor do the fans.
Yeah, the crowd doesn't appreciate that. They want to see fighting, not playing. Brannon doing a great job staying on the outside. He's got the left working now. Hard Rock Green could use his side-to-side movement and get inside. He's still giving too much room to Green-Bryant Brannon. Brian can pot shot him from out there.
Fighters after just 15 fights already, he's ranked in the top 10. And he has been quite a story, as you will find out shortly. So he goes up against Tony Thornton. And here is Green-Bryant Brannon in the red trunks, James Hard Rock Green in the black, two super middleweights. And the winner of this one hopes to come out and perhaps face the winner of our main event.
These are two that hope to be in the top 10 very soon.
How many rounds of boxing can you squeeze in the 2 hours of the Tuesday night fights?
Boxing or fighting. This could be better described as fighting. These two, not much boxing in there. A lot of punching.
Green-Bryant Brannon, 12 professional fights, and he has not been babied as a pro. Third pro fight against the rugged Willie Taylor. And in just his 5th pro fight against an established 10-round fighter, Ricky Thomas, won both of those. Hasn't lost yet, and now steps up for his first major test. He was rocked in the 3rd, came back, and showed what he could do as he knocked at the face of James Hard Rock Green in round number 4 to turn it back in his direction.
Yeah, real impressive with his poise. You know, he has scored well, and he hasn't blown everything that he has. Green-Bryant Brannon. You know, so many fighters that don't have the experience, they go in there and punch themselves out. Brannon hasn't done that, but now he's trying to punch out James Hard Rock Green. He's got Green in the corner. Remember the last round, how he was boxing more? Now he's trying to slug. This is some of the versatility that he described of himself, Green-Bryant Brannon. Hard Rock continues in that corner. He's content over there. And I'll tell you why. When you're tired, you can lean up against those ropes and rest. So now James Hard Rock Green has gone from the aggressor to the defensive fighter.
And that is not James Hard Rock Green at his best.
Not at all. Not at all. The fights that he has lost, he has been retreating. Oh, big left hook. A little off balance with Brannon.
Outrageous comedy.
Boy, what a chin Super Dave has. Huh? Super Dave Osborne.
Coming up Saturday night right here on USA.
Personal friend of mine. Super Day, the super one. I'm having a great time. You know, it's just fun out.
You'll do anything for that Super Dave autographed picture. I can't believe it.
Really swelled. Now Hard Rock Green boxing. There's Green moving. That is a moving rock in the ring.
A rolling rock. Actually, Brannon would like to make it a real rolling rock.
Good uppercut. Hard Rock. You know, Brannon said he saw Hard Rock in his last fight with Victor Davis. He said Davis kept him out of the end from time to time, and that's just what I plan to do tonight. Fight plan, he's going to use lateral movement. He says he loves, as anyone, he loves the thrill of the battle, but he's going to use the lateral movement until he had Hard Rock Green retreating. Then he was going to use effective aggressiveness. For these brawlers like Hard Rock Green is, there's a little showboating. Hard Rock Green wants to make it a tough, in the trenches fight. Green-Bryant Brannon showing his boxing ability, and the taller of the two wants to make it a boxing match.
James Hard Rock Green trying to be an inspiration to others in this, his second career, second life. The doctor in the corner checking out the eye, and James Hard Rock Green has to figure that he's getting into a desperation situation as he moves into the 9th round of his scheduled 10-rounder.
Oh, and that eye looks ugly. It looks like he's been hit with a rock in the eye. The rocks have been thrown by Brannon.
And Brannon just taking his time.
Yeah, and trying to zero in on that swelling. Trying to hit right on the eye. Make it puff up some more as Brannon.
Green-Bryant Brannon passed the test in the 4th round. Green had jumped on him in the 3rd, wobbled him, and Brannon came out in the 4th round and really stole the show, and it has been his ever since.
Really changed, and he's really passed the test thus far in this fight, the test that we were talking about earlier. You never know if you can go 9 rounds until you actually do it, or you never know if you can go 10 rounds. Good right hand and good movement from Brannon. And a good set of teeth from Brannon.
Trying to shake James Green, but he's not only built like a hard rock, also has that disposition in the ring. Inside 10 seconds to go in the 9th.
And Brannon is at disposition in that position, and that position in this position. Moving. Go for the knockout. You got to knock him out this round. You're way behind. Green-Bryant Brannon has to be happy. Not a mark on his face. He's done what he set out to do in this match. Had a little shaky rounds, the 2nd and 3rd round. But ever since then, he has stuck to what he wanted to do.
And here's a guy who's never gone beyond 6. Did not even sit down between rounds, heading here into the 10th. James Hard Rock Green, who came back from his 8-year layoff in November and took out Victor Davis in the 4th round. So this is his first 10-round test in the 2nd career. Last time he went 10. Done it 9 times. The last one was only back in 1986. Michael Olajide beat him in 10. And Green has been tamed the last half of this fight. And perhaps that a difference from the early James Hard Rock Green, now fighting at the age of 36, although he insists it's 34. And working on extending this second career as long as he can.
Well, he was really hoping to get a win tonight because he wanted to go eat at the Hard Rock Cafe.
So on one more like that, and we're going to ask you to leave. We have a whole main event to go. We will ask you to leave. Halfway through round number 10. Green almost walking into one mat right there. May have been wobbling.
Oh, yeah.
Green ready to go. Oh, he was wobbled. 10th round, and Green is out. The fight has been stopped. John Carroll waves it off out of nowhere in the 10th. Green-Bryant Brannon looked to be stronger, looked to be fresher, certainly was younger, and he comes up with a big shot to take James Green out in round number 10. The 6th straight knockout for Green-Bryant Brannon, who wins his 13th straight and 9 by KO.
Well, he said tonight, I'll exercise my many different skills, and he has certainly done that. He wanted to go into this fight. He said he was looking for a knockout, but it surprised me that he was able to take out that man, James Hard Rock Green. But no doubt, Hard Rock Green's left eye started swelling up back in the 4th and 5th round. He had a good 2nd, 3rd round. Green came back in the 4th and led throughout. Then he knocked him out in the...
As you may have noticed, Tommy Parks was initially Green's trainer for his comeback. However, Green later brought in Buddy McGirt to his corner, marking McGirt's first time training a name fighter as he transitioned into being a trainer. Green went on to fight 4 more times after this bout, and he took the hard road, losing to top-rated fighters like John David Jackson and Otis Grant before hanging up the gloves in January of 1996. Meanwhile, Green-Bryant Brannon had a lot of potential. He defeated Canada's Eric Luca, a future super middleweight champion, before taking a huge leap up in competition against Roy Jones Jr., a fight in which Brannon was stopped in 2 rounds. So I'll look what I have on Green and Brannon in the coming weeks and post some more of their fights, particularly some of Green's early fights, which I think will be interesting. Thanks for watching.